Huh. Man, I can't believe we're already in the top 40 on this ranking, and man, we're not even close to the actual true top tier ones yet, so all these seasons are pretty much every season from here on out seems like to be like amazing and incredible in like a lot of aspects. So coming in number 40 we have Survivor Panama Exile Island. And I think one of the reasons why this season is so high is pretty much everything involving the Kasaya tribe, because talk about a dysfunctional tribe. Holy shit. This tribe is so entertaining, fun, and chaotic. It's so fun to watch. I also think the Arena Tribe definitely does have its moments. I wouldn't say they're as boring as some make it out to be. But Kasaya Tribe definitely is the standard of the season. Because one of the reasons why the season is as high up on the list is, I think the cast itself is why the season is high up, honestly. This is also a season that properly introduced Exile Island as a concept that ended up being in later seasons. And of course, the Hidden, yeah, while it definitely was an overpowered one, but basically, obviously, it was played like after the votes are read, which makes some people extremely overpowered. Like, you do get some fun people like Bettina being interesting first boots, like Wanda and Luke Marie having their moments, Misty being an interesting downfall, Bobby Bobby and his downfall is just fantastic TV. You know, Dan having a pretty emotional episode, and while Nick Austin and Sally aren't the most interesting characters in the world, at least they do have their moments. Like I said, the side tribe is great again. Bruce is fantastic, Courtney insane. You also got Shane Powers, who, and the fact that he wasn't returned to Cambodia is a goddamn shame. Like, truly goddamn shame that he didn't return for that season. Damn, truly shame. And of course, you got the legendary Suri Fields, who, this was the first time we see someone that ends up becoming like a true legend of Survivor, who could be like 3 at a time, and after I'm filming this, is killing on the new season of Big Brother, and also won the recent season of The Traitors. Like, the other reason why Suri is a legend, honestly, and it's definitely the way when I think this whole Macadamia game is the best, but she definitely lays out someone who probably was scared to lead and easily could have been the first boot. Ended up playing a really great game, a fantastic social game, and of course pulled that amazing 3-2-1 blindside after round 6. And of course you got Sherry Deeds, who is a great challenge beast and also a great character. And the final two being Dan Ars, who aren't the most exciting people in the world, but they do have their moments. I think Ars is actually a bit underrated, actually. Honestly, I actually do enjoy him as a winner, honestly. But overall, again, Exile, fantastic, chaotic, and fun from beginning to end. Now we get to more Australian Survivor at number 39, and that is Australian Survivor Champions vs. Contenders 1. For me, again, for a long time was probably my favorite Australian Survivor season, and at least until 2 other seasons did top it, but I think this is a great season. This is one an Australian Survivor season I think, well, I don't think it really ever drags, honestly, along with a couple of seasons we're getting into. I don't think it really dragged. I don't think it's really just, I don't think it really has like too many like big twists that really bring the season down, or there just to stretch out the gameplay. Like, maybe it's something like that man walking twist that was in merge, but even then that was still an interesting twist, honestly. And you do get a great cast throughout the season. Like, you get freaking Russell Hams, who had an amazing downfall, being the first beat out of his stride, which is insane. But then again, it's freaking Russell Hams, so I'm not surprised, honestly. You get some insane pre-merge blindsides, some crazy boots that happen throughout the season. Players that just play terribly and kind of just blow up their own games and just way back and forth that happens throughout the season. But the merge is where the game really shines, honestly, especially with that whole Matt Rogers blindside that is one of the most insane and crazy travel consoles that we have ever gotten. And of course, you got the lay blindside, that's also a pretty fun blindside. Again, like I said, some good pre-merge blindsides, and later having also a great downfall. Last season is also first season we got Shawnee, who I think is an all-time great reality TV character. And of course, she appeared like 2 more times in Blood vs. Water. in second time in the All-Star season. I don't want to say Blood vs. Water. And of course, the Hero vs. season, which we'll get into later on in this video. But and of course, we got Brian, who had a pretty interesting downfall and started to make some pretty terrible moves, especially Final 6. And Monica, Fenella, Steve, you got Stevie here, who's a weird, was that they brought back into his villains. And I guess Sean, who had he kind of plays some kind of game that actually has a great highs, but the lows were low enough to basically she ended up losing, and she ended up to be one who ended up being a bit obvious at a certain point. Was a pretty likable winner and a pretty inspiring winner, that honestly. So it's season that had some pretty epic and explosive moments and some epic drop cancels again. I don't think there's one point where the season I think really dragged at all, so that alone puts the season where it is at 39. And now we get to a really interesting season on Big Brother at number 38, and that is Big Brother 12. And the reason I think it's interesting because I'm gonna say is Big Brother 12 is the most predictable season in the show's history. Season I don't think of any of the vote outs, I don't think any of them were really, like maybe except for the Kathy vote out, honestly, and the Matt vote outs. I don't think the moment that's like, oh my god, that's shocking, and so, oh my god, like, everything just kind of happens how you expect it, honestly. And normally that would make it season boring. But personally, it's the cast itself. It's the moments that happen this season and the overall cast that do make this season so much fun. So sometimes even the predictable vote-outs end up being so much fun to watch. So you got the whole Saboteur twist that I think week 1 ended up being kind of a waste because the first boot ended up being the Saboteur, which was interesting, and then it kind of ended up bringing that back later on, which led to some fun TV. And one day that's the most interesting character was, she definitely has the most especially with her Brian and Rachel. Then you got Andrew and his pretty much downfall throughout this, and him having like a huge fight with Hayden Kristen during his eviction episode, which was, oh my god, TBS bias. Even Kristen has a moment, and of course you got the iconic, the iconic Richard Riley, which, as I mentioned throughout this video, and I probably will mention in future videos, Rachel Riley is a character I'm always so conflicted on how I actually feel about her, but even point that I still think she has some fantastic moments, especially with her fight with Kristen when she won second HOH, which is one of the best fights in the show's history. Even Brett, I say, has his moments here. Kathy has some moments. Reagan is a great character, and of course you got the iconic Brittany Haynes, who is one of the best confessional getters in the show's history, if not the best. But of course you got the Brigade Alliance, which is one of the most dominant lines in the show's history, but it's not dominant to where it's boring. It's dominant to where it's actually fun, because you actually do like these people. They have their fun, horrible lines, hilarious moments, and great gameplay. Matt being a fantastic villain to watch and having a great downfall. Enzo playing a great social game and probably be my personal favorite of the Brigade Alliance, and to where I was actually happy that he returned for All Stars. So some matches were disappointing, but that's a story. But I will explain that. Lane is, I think, a pretty underrated character, and even he, I think, has his great moments. So I think that probably, in some ways, probably should be a lot lower on this list, but it's really the iconic characters, the cast, and even the fun gameplay points and the fights and the moments that happen do elevate this season to where it is. And now we are finally back to talk about some more Hell's Kitchen! And at 37, we have a season that I wasn't sure how to put on this list, honestly. I don't think I know how some people really feel about it, but in the end, I decided here at number 3 we have, at number 37, we have Hell's Kitchen Season 4. I think Season 4 is one of the best seasons of Hell's Kitchen. Definitely one of the most rewatchable, one of the most fun and truly entertaining seasons of the show. And truly for good reason, because Hell's Kitchen Season 4 I think is a fantastic season. And it does have one of the most least talented casts in show's history, and you do get some pretty likable people, most so decent. But that makes this downfall so much more interesting. And you get some all-time great characters here. Some really fun moments, some really surprising moments. I mean, this is probably the first instance where Gordon Ramsay eliminated someone without them having to nominate them. And of course, you got Jen, Christina, and Corey, who have probably the best rivalry in the show's history. And the rivalry have one of the best arcs in the show's history. And honestly, I think Christina's actually a pretty underrated winner, actually. I can also probably have it on a lower tier, but I actually love Christina and her storyline throughout the season. But Charles, I think, is one of the most likable chefs to ever be on Hell's Kitchen. Like, also rest in peace. The guy is just so wholesome. Bobby has his moments. Even Matt, I would say, has his moments. The whole common thing with him and Ben, it was also fantastic TV. Lou Ross, Rose Ryan, Shania. Like, the cast is just fun. It has great moments. Gets some all-time great dinner services here, some all-time great Ramsay moments here, and it just makes for a season that's just pure entertainment from beginning to end. Now, coming in at number 36, we have Survivor Season 13 Cook Islands. See, that was very controversial when it came out, because obviously it was season that by 4 tribes by race, which not the most interesting, not the most idea, like the most wow idea in the world, but I will see what's that controversial first. I think it's season that people are going to appreciate so much more recently. And I've always loved Cook Island. I've always enjoyed this season. I think it really drags at one point, honestly. Like, does have some questionable stuff here and there, but you're not really the stuff that really brings down season down. Like, you get a pretty good first bit with the second butt out. You get the whole iconic Billy Garcia moment, which is iconic TV. And while maybe some of the pre-jury players aren't the most memorable characters in the world, even though I wouldn't say they're like the boring players, I also think they do still have their moments. And you also got the whole cowboy playing voodoo thing, where he was the first person that brought in the split though, which was now more prevalent now in Survivor. This is where it actually started, which makes for a fun blind side to happen. You also got the Rail Tribe pretty much like losing, the whole mutiny episode with Jonathan and Candace coming in, the amazing Final Night Trump Council, that's just great TV. And pretty much the I24 pretty much like dominating, and all them be great characters. Sandra, Becky, Ozzy. This is where it's the first time we see Ozzy, who is his first of his 4 appearances on Survivor. And also that women's probably going to see him again at some point. And someone who don't be the biggest challenge beast in the show's history. And of course, the one of the biggest strategic minds in Yul, who, yeah, people still debate whether or not Yul Ozzy actually should have won the season. Honestly, I think Yul definitely deserves to win it, because he played an incredible game, one of the best minds in the show's history, and just an incredible player and character. And of course, you get the first time we see Parvati, to where, well, it's definitely interesting seeing her first time on the show. Well, I don't think she's the most memorable character. I don't think this really get her best moments. I mean, she still has good moments here. She still has some good character moments here. Adam is great. Candace was solid. Penner is fantastic TV. Like, overall, I don't think really has like a true slow point in the season. I think it's just fun, chaotic from beginning to end. You just can't help having a smile on your face with a lot of great characters, all the interesting moments that happen throughout, especially for some reason why certain people get voted out. So, as an ending, it's fun challenge moments, some extra on moments. And Lucio's Heath Nash, I always enjoyed it, so it definitely belongs this high on this list. Now, coming in at number 35, we have the Survivor season that started it all, Survivor Borneo. The season of Survivor that started it all, that started this whole show phenomenon that's still going strong to this day, which, while not losing popularity, is still a debate, honestly, considering the new era. But despite that, there's a reason why Survivor is still the phenomenon it is. There is a reason. There is a reason why Survivor is still beloved, why it's still going strong, why it still has great ratings, and why people still enjoy watching it. I mean, when it first aired, it wasn't like a show like any other at the time, and there's definitely a good reason. Well, yeah, the first season still might have some growing pains, like most first season reality show does. It's still an iconic season of the show, and there's definitely no reason why people still think this season is still one of the best seasons of the show. And again, a good reason against where it is right here, honestly. So, yeah, like I said, the scoring point is probably the only reason why it's only at 35 here. You know, it's maybe kind of slow at times, and also end up doing some stuff that kind of just get kind of forgotten about at times, but again, you do get great cast. Yeah, I think the cast definitely makes this season. Like, the first episode is just iconic. The interactions, the camp life, and the tribal councils, and yeah, like Richard Hatch, Kelly Wigglesworth, Sue Hogg, Rudy Bosch, rest in peace. Sean, Colleen, Jervis, Jenna, Greg, Gretchen, Joel. Like, you get still one of the best casts in the show's history, where everyone stands out. Everyone has their great moments. You get some fantastic character moments here as well. You're gonna get the iconic tribal council, the Sue student jury speech, the whole Jenna video moment in the final 9, the whole covering up with Greg, and also his reaction when he got voted out. Richard running around naked, the whole outfit strategy, like so many memorable iconic moments happened throughout this season that just made me smile and just, well, yeah, it made camp feel short in a couple areas, and while it definitely has a couple growing pains, I would still recommend people still watch Survivor Borneo. But against Survivor, I would still recommend people would watch Boner because I think it's still a classic season, and there's a reason why Survivor ended up being the show that it is now because of this season. Now, at number 34, we get to a season that's a little more higher at 44, and that's season 25, Survivor Philippines. Yeah, this was between like 21 and 26, which is what people consider to be the dark era of Survivor. If you guys know, like most of those seasons were actually near the bottom of my ranking. But Philippines, I think, is the bright spot. This is part of the season where people are like, oh yes, Survivor can still be good. Honestly, because again, this is why people consider it to be the dark era of the show. Because honestly, a lot of people probably won't have like Nicaragua, Redemption Island, South Pacific, One World, and probably care more like near the bottom of their rankings. And for good reason. The Philippines is definitely the bright spot between those seasons, as it was a pretty interesting type of season. We got about 3 tribes, and one of the future reasons that more common nowadays. This was the first time they brought back as All-Stars, if I remember correctly, which was pretty interesting. They have about 3 players that were previously evacuated, and that was interesting. They got back Russell Swan, who had a pretty interesting narrative throughout the season, with his tribe previously lost the first 4 challenges. And that tribe was a train wreck with Zane acting like he asking to be voted out. That was part of his strategy. The whole like Roxy vote out, the Angie vote out, and Swan eventually gave out, being one of the most emotional episodes in the show's history. And he gets on pretty similar for that with the cave vote out, and host Dawson being, actually kissing Jeff, which is still hilarious. But the merge is definitely one game really shines, honestly, with the whole RC vote out and her rival Anne Marie, who's a character I've definitely grown a little bit more of, honestly, as time went on. The whole Jeff Camp blindside is still one of the best blindsides in the show's history. The Horns vote out, the P episode, the Penner, who has some fantastic character moments here as well. Carter, it's fine, honestly. Yeah, I think Abner has some moments. And of course, we got Malcolm, who I think is one of the best characters in the show's history, one of the most likable people to ever appear on Survivor. And Denise is also a pretty worthy winner, honestly, in my opinion. And while there's definitely some questionable things to say about Scuba nowadays, and there really is questionable things to say about Scuba, and I don't want to say what it is, I would just recommend you look that up, honestly. He was still great TV here. And he still has his great moments. It was great to actually see him return after so long. And also, Lisa had one of the best arcs in the show's history. A pretty great character arc throughout, and was great growth throughout the season. And the cast is great. He gets an alternate Trump council, so great back and forth throughout the season. Nice little character moments throughout. So all in all, Philippines, I think it's fantastic. Now, at number 33, we get to a season that I was debating for a while what to actually put it on this ranking, because I was honestly going back and forth with how much good there are. Because this is a season that I think has so many iconic moments, and has so many moments that make me remember why I love Survivor. But there are a few aspects that do end up holding it back from being really top tier, honestly. And that is Survivor Winners at War. Winners at War. See, that I was super high on when I first saw that too. I think I kind of still am, honestly. Yeah, season I don't think anybody, I don't think any of us were expecting this season to actually come out. I don't think any of us were like, a winners season? Holy shit! And I don't know if we've seen some of these players actually return. And then bring back Edge of Extinction, which, well, was not the most exciting thing in the world, because I think people really hated it. I think for all winners season, I think it makes sense. The whole Fire Token Squad was actually pretty interesting, honestly. And while I was going to see it again, I thought it was still, I didn't think that if it was tweaks certain elements a little bit more, it definitely would have potential to be great. And see some of these players, some players interact with each other, and some of these big players interacting, which is awesome TV, fantastic, honestly. Even the Edge of Extinction, I think, still has its moments. I'm going to can't be disappointed that some of the old school players get voted out first. Honestly, I'm not really too big because I think, honestly, the Legends for a reason, so I think it makes sense to get them out, so they did, honestly, so. But then still there's great moments where Bob's Drop trying to do that buddy strategy, which ended up failing, and Parvati and the whole Wendell situation, Sandra's dumb move to end up getting voted out, and it should at least really make the right decision on that. They'll end up getting voted out before the merge, which was kind of surprising. The whole Tyson episode, blindside, both of his blindsides. The whole Adam situation where he tried to pull Adam out of the podium, which Like, I'm so surprised I just done that, honestly. At least the US version. The whole 4-3-2 Sophie blindside is one of the best blindsides ever. You get some great trump council, some great back and forths here, and all the winners do have their moments, honestly. Of course, most notable being Tony, who I never expecting him just to make it to the merge. Never did I expect that not only he would win, he would dominate, receive no votes against him, and win 4 immunities. By putting the brawn and why he was put in the bottom 5 with Kaguyan. And I remember I used to hate Tony, honestly, but I'll get them and get the Kaguyan. But oh my god, Tony was just top tier television and proved why he is I still think between him and Boss Romp's the best player in the show's history, in my opinion. Like, I'm dead serious. And at least he's the best character we have gotten. Even Michelle, I think, Michelle also has her moments, and proved why she's definitely one of the best people to be on Survivor. Despite the questionable moments, I think Sarah Lucien's also fantastic. Ben has great moments by, him quitting at the last minute. Denise, Nick, like, everyone has their moments. Everyone has great moments. Gives them great character moments, some of the most, like, humanized moments in shows. Like, you got a little scene where Tony and Jimmy actually argue over how many days there are in a week. Like, I always love when Survivor does, like, little nice character moments like that. Those are always highlights. But the one thing, unfortunately, that does bring the season down a little bit is the editing. Well, it doesn't, like, ruin the season, in my opinion. I think the moments are still super high, then it kind of negates a lot of the issues I would have. After finding out, like, what all the stuff that Cindy sort of happened throughout the season, after finding out certain things that actually happened, a lot of the things that were revealed, honestly, after the show, but some winners had to go through, and a lot of moments you're like, why wasn't this show? This would make for awesome TV. I would say still that out, honestly, but you have to tell that they were kind of scrapping for, like, some their cause that they kind of wanted to show, but I think to the point where people were hoping that they would go for 90 minutes here, which definitely now as a film this, they're only doing that with 45. But honestly, that would make for more awesome TV and some more great moments we got to see some of them, honestly, which also kind of led to basically wondering, like, why Natalie ended up losing the Final Drop Council and why Michelle didn't receive any votes. Honestly, so even though I think there were some scenes that were edited a bit off, honestly, especially I love the whole Blood One visit, saying how I'm reading and seeing, like, much the chaos as that Drop Council was. Proposed Drop Council was pretty unfortunate. Maybe like it's still like arcs or character moments I wish I got to see a little bit more of. But despite the little issues, I still love Wins Away. I think the moments are so great and so amazing. The characters are so great. Tony's dominant win. It's what elevates this season to being where it is, honestly. Though I can definitely understand why some people went like this season. I think a lot of the characters, a lot of the great moves, a lot of the moments that remind me why I love the show so much do elevate to where it is. I won't like can't for any high for the editing, but Wars of War I think is a fantastic season. Now at number 32 we have more Hell's Kitchen. That is Hell's Kitchen season 15. It seems that a lot of people would normally have at the bottom, actually. Like a lot of the Hell's Kitchen rankings I've seen, people have 15 at near the bottom, and again, like 16, I can definitely see why, honestly. But the one thing that does elevate this season amongst the others, honestly, is that, well, yeah, some kids are very unlikable at times. Well, I mean, a lot of them are pretty terrible people at times, especially with Frank. So seeing the downfalls and seeing how unpredictable season ended up being does elevate. Like, this is the only season in the show's history where basically everyone gets nominated at least once throughout the season. And I don't think we ever get a season like that, honestly. Yeah, a season where not everyone gets season where literally everyone gets nominated at least once throughout the season, which is insane. Insane. Honestly, and people really think will actually be a great contenders end up having epic downfall, makes for hilarious TV. Like Hansen and his downfall, the Final 14 says be one of the most entertaining and terrible services in the show's history. Where there's a chance that 3 people could actually gotten voted out here. And you do some great characters here, like I actually do like Ariel here, honestly, being the true only like villainous win in the show's history. Like you tell even the editors were actually surprised that Ariel ended up winning the season. And Chris is actually a pretty underrated character. So even Ashley, Jared, and Amanda have their great moments and have great underdog runs throughout the season. Danny has their moments. Frank, yeah, get Frank not having one moment. Like, hey, Frank. Even Jack Ellis stays being a terrible person at times and a pretty annoying person at times, does have hilarious moments. Chad and Hudson and Hudson having a crazy downfall. Joe, like everyone at least has their moments. Honestly, again, and it's really the unpredictability of the season is what really elevates it because you never know who could win or could ever happen. Which it really does. It's kind of rare for Hell's Kitchen season to be like that. Not to say it never makes any season boring, but sometimes you can know like what certain things are going on for the season. But again, it doesn't make it boring. Honestly, it doesn't make it like bad or anything. Obviously. Occasionally, I just like doing this unpredictable, and that's what elevates the season, honestly. And plus, it's just so fun to watch. It's just so fun and entertaining. And you get, my opinion, a solid cast throughout, some great challenges, some all-time dinner services here as well, and overall pretty solid Final 3, honestly. And Ariel having a great villainous edit and also some great moments as well. And also Sue Chef, Christina Wilson, Chef's Kiss. Now, at number 31, we got some more Big Brother. Very honestly, the Big Brother, but one I've always loved and appreciated, and that is Big Brother Over the Top. And of course, for those who don't know, this was actually the attempt of doing a digital season of Big Brother. The attempt of doing one that's just digital, not like airing, and they end up on the CBS website, and it was actually a pretty interesting experiment that too. And I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that again, honestly, because I've always loved this season when it first aired, and I still do, honestly. And yeah, another time I think a lot of that is relating to the cast here. Not much is also, it seems like that's kind of having just like two sides, but they kind of go back and forth to get rid of this and that, honestly. And it makes for really entertaining TV, honestly. Got an interesting first between Cornbread, yes, Cornbread's actual name. Cornbread. Montague having an interesting downfall, honestly. Shane having a good having a blind side. Scott being a fantastic villain throughout. We've got Alex, who I think is a top tier character. Ralph, Whitney, Danny, I think have their moments. Shelby, all time great character, honestly. The fact that, again, Shelby's just fantastic TV. I couldn't have a laugh whenever she's on screen. Justin's also all-time great TV. Chrissy has her great moments. And both Jason Roy is probably a little more unlikable in this season. Like most of how he treats Shelby throughout the season, I think was I think with how he treats Shelby throughout the season, I thought was not fun. Overall, again, he still has his moments. And of course, the other one, Morgan, who basically is now a very popular reality TV star nowadays. Honestly, and I love Morgan so much. Like Morgan is fantastic TV as well. That's what, honestly, like you do get some fun blindsides, some good back and forths here, some nice little twists they decided to add throughout the season that don't really like screw a lot of people over, but it does make it fun TV at times, especially when they end up having like a good nominee that makes for fun TV. So as a whole, I love the season. I think it's actually a pretty underappreciated season, and it's a shame we're not going to see some of these people return. So, yeah. Now, coming in at number 30, we get to 4 of the amazing South Africa seasons. But this is season 6 with 9 South Africa is when they actually finally realized, finally got around to what makes South Africa work, or finally got around for the growing pains and everything. So, at number 30, we have Island of Secrets. It's one of my least favorite between season 6 and 9, probably because it had some icky moments here and there, but aside from that, I think this is a fantastic season with some of the best gameplay that we have seen. It's mostly from the winner Rob, who, aside from the final 5 rounds, probably one of the best winning games ever, one of the most dominant winning games ever, who is pretty impressive, but also still very likable and fun to watch, while seeing how he makes these amazing, impressive moves throughout the season is pretty incredible. And he also gets some great plays as well, like Nicole, Durrell, Latina, Stephanie, some of the most fun, but at least you get some good characters too. You get some fun pre-merge episodes, some fun terrible gameplay and all that stuff. Yeah, and Secrets aspect I thought was actually pretty compelling and interesting. You get some really impressive moves throughout the game. Get especially from the final 10, final 9 rounds. Just all around a consistently great season with great moves and great characters. It may not have like truly many standout moments, but it's still a consistently great season enough to where it is longer than number 30. Now, at number 29, we get to another Australian Survivor season. I really want to put it on the ranking, and that is Australian Survivor Brains vs. Brawn, which was an interesting season for sure because the best way to compare this season is to compare to Survivor Carbone, which this season you will definitely see a little higher on the spectrum. Season that's unlike any other season that's honestly kind of terrible in a lot of areas, mostly because of the structure and some aspects, and it can be batshit insane, and it's different unlike a lot of seasons, but you just can't help but still have fun because you just can't help but have fun with what goes on throughout the season. The reason I say that because Brains vs. Brawn is the Australian season that displays the most big issues with Australian TV up to this point. Especially when it comes to the twist, honestly, how in the freaking first episode, the eventual big character this season and another season, George, and taking a twist, but basically, he has 6 people be immune and leave tribal council. In the first episode, I might add, and there are a lot of crazy twists like that, a lot of random stuff that happens, and also this whole Deb's Rot thing, where eventually when Haley gets voted out, she somehow returns and wins the season, and this whole like shifting that makes one episode kind of pointless. So it's just, yeah. And maybe some of the pretty much characters are the most interesting characters in the world, but you do get some all-time great characters too. Like I said, Haley I think is a fantastic, despite her being voted out, she's a fantastic winner, plays a great winning game, and has a great personality. George, I'll talk about more him again to another season he's part of, but he's an all-time great character. Like, oh my god, one of the best characters to come out in recent Survivor history. He's pretty much the show stealer in both of his seasons. There's been no exception, honestly. Like, Flick also was pretty fun to watch. Kara has some insane moments. There's one voter where basically she kind of like Rose won a vote and she basically got outcast after that, honestly. I mean, you know, people like Danny, Wade, Andrew, Emmett, Gerald, and Baden, and well, you get a lot of great characters throughout the season. Even if I'm pretty much characters more notably with Danny being a character, well, yeah, it may kind of feel stretched out in some areas, especially with the last few episodes of the pretty much kind of being a bit dragged out, and not really surprised on who gets voted out, but despite the craziness of that shit, makes this not feel really boring, honestly. Like, it's a very batshit crazy that may not look very bad, but for the longest time it was actually my favorite Australian Survivor season because of that comparison I mentioned. But once we eventually topped it, and we'll get brief one does play a lot of the worst aspects of Australian TV, it's really the cast and the batshit structure that doesn't make it very watchable. Now, at number 28, we're gonna get to most Survivor US, and that is Survivor Blood vs. Water Season 27. Part of the Survivor that really brought back a lot of love for the show, and for good reason. Now, I've always loved Blood vs. Water when it first aired, and I still do love the season. It's definitely one of the most rewatchable seasons, it's definitely one of the most unpredictable seasons of the show. I mean, I had a great concept of bringing back returning players along with the loved ones, and well, yeah, the Cohen's Colton was very questionable, and he's probably the only blemish in this season. And probably not why this is any high on this ranking, honestly, because honestly, this probably would have been in the top 20. Except for that, Blood vs. Water I still think is a fantastic season. Only every Mexican play was great, and it's about the only season where Redemption Island was actually impressive, was actually, you know, utilized very well. Yeah, well, you get great back league like Monica Culpepper. Well, she didn't play the best game in the world. I think she was still a great character, and we'll stand a lot more here. Brad had a great fun villainous downfall in this season. This is easily the best we have seen of Tyson, honestly, and him winning was definitely very satisfying. Even the loved ones themselves ended up becoming very great characters, like Marissa, Rachel, John, Brian Culpepper, like I mentioned earlier, Vitas, Caleb, rest in peace, and of course the member being Sierra. Like, do you imagine the fact that she found her own mom, which, because there's people still remember her own mom. I mean, when we get a season where basically someone voted out their own mom. But Sierra is definitely, overall is definitely my character here. You know, it's got Tina Weston playing a really good game, Jervis being a great character as well. And again, the Dutch Island, I think everything found Dutch Island and the dual stars, these are the best part of the season. I think mostly because of the tribal interactions with a lot of the characters. The Holy Blood Brad Culpepper was fantastic TV, and made for some really great interaction and some really fun fights throughout. It's just fun, entertaining, unpredictable, insane, and of course this brought back the Purple Raw tiebreaker, which Then, for our marks to the best moments in Star Trek history, makes for a season that's definitely unpredictable and unforgettable. Now, speaking of unpredictable, at number 27, we have Survivor Cambodia. Second Chance. Yeah, a season I think I've been wanting Survivor to do for a long time, honestly, and I still hope the bird does it at some point. I mean, it's great content for a season, bringing out people that you think deserve a second chance, people that you really think should have another chance to play Survivor, whether it be years later, whatever, but that no, looking for a great season of television. Pretty much by some plays they feel deserve a second chance, and you got robbed, or you got screwed or something, or felt unable to make a move that kind of just went against them, and that was a good, again, that's a good for a second chance season. That's a great idea for an all-star season. And while there's maybe a couple of questionable choices and a couple that don't really stand out, unfortunately, it makes for one unpredictable season. Even some players that you probably wouldn't think would stand out, they do. Like Kelly Wentworth ends up becoming an icon after this season. So he really was kind of forgettable in Samuel Del Sur. She becomes one of the best players ever after this season, playing an incredibly dominant game, had the most building against her for that side. One side, Chef's Kiss. Amaria's a lot more fun here. Sierra's still pretty fun as well. So no, building up a Prima was great again. Great again. Jeff Farner, PG, and her rival Abby was fun, and Shireen and Jesus Downfall was fun. The Rube Lines was great. Cass being Cass, Savage being Savage. Kelly Winsworth, I mean, she was definitely disappointing, but she didn't like bring out a season, unfortunately. She definitely did bring out a season. Fishback was great. Joe Grit was this probably might be his best run on this fighter. Yeah, it was great. Kimmy was fun. Keith Dale, rest in peace, fantastic TV. And yeah, Kenwood Icon. Tasha, not as relevant, but she's still fun. Spencer has probably his best run on Survivor. Playing a much more improved game despite some rough moments here and there, especially in the Final Four. And then there's Jeremy Collins, who, well, I was not going to actually win Survivor, but honestly, I think it makes for a pretty satisfying win. And he's a very memorable winner with a great set of skills, great gameplay, and it's just a good fun back and forth with a lot of contestants. And while Academy may feel a little bit game body at times, it does for benefits if you do still get enough character moments sprinkled here and there, especially the story arc of him trying to understand feelings and emotions, and trying to create bonds with people, which was kind of his issue last season. It all makes for an incredible season that's still fun, has fantastic rounds of gameplay, and again, still expecting on some good character moments. Here was Survivor at number 26, and that is Survivor of Tocantins. Tocantins. So this definitely was one of the most beautiful locations that we ever seen on Survivor. Like, the landscapes and everything are just breathtaking. And again, now the season ends, honestly, it's pretty elevated by its cast. And we do get a couple pretty much not interesting characters. I would say that really does, honestly. But Carolina, Jerry, and Candace are the most interesting. Sandy, though, all-time great pretty much character. I fucking love Sandy. Spencer, Sandy, I think have their moments. Joe also has his moments too. Then like pretty much everything from Final Artwork I think is like fantastic and awesome. The whole Brendan blind side I think is great, and Brendan's a fun character. This is the first season we actually seen of Tyson, and despite him being out, so he's still pretty fun and entertaining to watch. Sierra was also had a pretty solid arc for the season. Debbie has good moments. Aaron Taj also has the good moments. Then you got JT and Steven are two of the most likable people ever. And well, yeah, JT's scam Mike got ruined in later seasons, especially here with his villains and Game Changers. He's still one of the most likable people to ever win Survivor, and he's really the first true perfect game. But of course, you can't tell about Tocantins without talking about Coach, who was a player that I think a lot of people really did not like, honestly. A lot of people that really did not enjoy. It's one of the players that's really divisive. You love him or you hate him. Like, he's like one of those Texans, but and I used to not like Coach, honestly, when this is aired, honestly. I used to hate Coach. But now that I got more perspective, I'm like, yeah, I think Coach is fantastic. I think Coach is top tier TV. So Exile on episodes, one of the best episodes in the show's history. It's just iconic TV, iconic lines, great blindsides, great interactions all around. Just season 9 I think is paced pretty well and never has a very dull moment or episode. Coming in at number 25, it's definitely one of the most surprising seasons on this list, and that's Survivor New Zealand Season 2. You guys don't know, Season 1 was actually at the very bottom here. Survivor Season 2 ended up being one of the best Survivor seasons that we have gotten. It's somewhat impressive, and it makes it pretty much more sad that the ratings dropped and Survivor New Zealand ended up not continuing after the season. Because I feel like they kind of listened to a lot of the criticisms of Season 1, a lot of the problems with that season, and they literally fixed every single issue I have with that season 10. So the pacing, I think it's paced much better, and the cast is a lot more memorable and more interesting. You get some impressive rounds of gameplay, the whole final 6 round being a great 3-2-1 vote, honestly, which is impressive. You get a great cast of characters, and great final 3, some banger moves, some great character moments. This is just one of those seasons that I'm not going to say much because I feel you should watch it for yourself, honestly. And this is definitely one of the more underappreciated Survivor seasons. And you all should definitely check this one out if you haven't. And now we're taking a deep detour from Survivor to talk about more Hell's Kitchen. And number 24, we get to what is my 4th favorite season of Hell's Kitchen. And that's Hell's Kitchen Season 18. I don't really know what consensus is about Hell's Kitchen Season 18, honestly. But I've always liked Season 18, honestly. I've always enjoyed this season, and for good reason. I think unlike 17, it's a much better All-Star season, where you do get like half like newbies and half veterans. Basically, a fair season. But I think the newbies still have great time to shine, honestly. Like Scott's one of the most highly memorable first boots in the show's history. He was one of the most hilarious first boots ever. I felt like he was joking lots of his set. Chris had a pretty interesting upgrade, but had an unfortunate exit. That's one of the most emotional stuff in the show's history. JC had an unfortunate downfall, and she was very likable. Scott Lee was great at first, but also had great downfall as well. Jose has his moments. Keontae was fantastic. Mono was very likable, and Mia, top tier character. Even for if they bring back here, all great, honestly. While some who have unfortunate downfalls, like Kevin and T, one of the most dominant chefs ever, ended up getting eliminated very early, which was amazing. And then you have Jen, who has one of the biggest rage quits ever by having to accuse Chef Ramsay of sabotaging her, which I don't know, never goes well, but it made for great TV. Well, it's definitely much more memorable than she was last season, in her first season. Honestly, Trev, oh my god, Trev, a train wreck, but at least he's actually a little more likable here. Honestly, Heather, fortunately, a lot less likable. But still has her moments. Brett's one of the most passionate chefs. Well, he may have moments that kind of bugged me, but I think he's still a very fun, likable person to watch throughout the season. And Ariel having one of the best arcs in any Hell's Kitchen season, which he went from being third and now is like a very confident chef in the first time on Hell's Kitchen, to pretty much end up winning the season 10 years later, which I think is impressive. It's very unpredictable, very fun, has some great back and forths, some really nice fights, some great back and forth. It's probably the best modern season Hell's Kitchen that we have gotten so far. Honestly, I'm not the only person that's going to have to see very high. But I always loved it when I first watched it, and I still do. And now we go back, we're talking about more Stars of Africa, and that is Survivor South Africa, Philippines coming in after 23. Again, this is why World South Africa finally figured out what they wanted to do here, because then they took a few years off after Champions. But now they started to figure out what they more wanted to do with the South Africa portion of Survivor, what they really wanted to accomplish. Or this is also the structure and whatever, and then we got more consistent. And I think last time I checked, they ended up ending this, if I remember correctly, so that's pretty fortunate. But Philippines, I think, is a fantastic season. Definitely, what got a lot of people more into International Survivor, and for good reason. Because it is one hell of a season, and it has a lot of proof that it definitely feels a lot more different than when you like it also has the same structure, the tribal councils, the vote outs. But more in terms of how it's structured and everything, and how some things happen. Like, you get one of the most memorable first boots in Sheamus, one of the most memorable first tribal councils where Sheamus ends up getting voted out, and the vote that probably should happen. And finally, the person now they're going to vote out ended up winning the season. But I'll get that in a bit. And you all get a really great cast of characters. There are some really great back and forth, some really good group of people. A season that I don't think really has a dragging point throughout the season, that has So many iconic characters from PK, Tony, Tevin, Wena being one of the best game players that we have seen up to this point. We've won some really epic blindsides, especially the Moves blindside. Policia also being a good character. But you get some great characters and great pre-match characters. And you get the instance of someone who was so likable, so basically, but not likable to where he's like obviously an asshole, who was so disliked by a lot of people in the actual game. The fact that he actually ended up winning the season, and you didn't see it coming, I think easily, oh, he's this season, honestly. That Tom, someone who was treated probably as a pick for that season, ends up winning the season. Just, it's one of the few WTF winners that I'm like, actually, I really elevates the season, actually. But overall, you do get great characters, some great job cancelled, a very consistent fun ride with some fun memorable moments. Just check out for yourselves. Now, coming in at number 22, we got the most favorite US, and that is Survivor Cal Rum. I think of all the seasons on this list, this is one of the stories that I think I got to appreciate more as time went on. Not that I didn't dislike this season, it's kind of more similar how I feel about my cases, honestly, where I thought it was just decent to okay when I first watched it. But as time went on, and the more I ended up rewatching the season, the more I ended up looking back on it, the more I got to appreciate it. And it's obviously a lot more higher than Philippines, because it's obviously number 22. But I've always liked Cal Rum. I always look Cal to be like a top tier 5 US season. I think a lot of it's for things having one of the best modern casts in the show's history, having some fantastic job casts, especially in the pre-merge, where Darnell's vibe was interesting, and Darnell being a really fun first boot, Jennifer pretty much like annihilating her game, just wow. Liz being a fun character, Alicia having an interesting downfall, despite him being like only like 9 days, despite the most I actually like Caleb Reynolds, honestly. Even when I was at 16, I didn't really care for him, so those are at least, but yeah. Anna, despite the fact that she's done some stuff after the show, was also a fun character. Peter had fun downfall. Neil was great TV. Nick had also epic downfall. And pretty much also the Debbie and the Scott Trump Councils are two of the best Trump Councils in the show's history. Debbie being a Zen character that, while she didn't have her frustrating moments, especially in Game Changers, it's a really fun character here. And Scott, while I didn't like Scott and Jason at first, they end up becoming like really fun villains that end up having, again, massive downfalls. Julia also has her moments. Joe was fun, honestly. Sydney had a really great backstory and a great arc throughout the season. Chai, I think, is one of the best character choices in the show's history. Like, even more, but the preview, you could tell that Tai was going to be a fun character, that he was going to be a top tier character. And he is a top tier character. Aubrey, she may have moments, but I think I'm going to appreciate Aubrey a bit more, and this is honestly my lens on her best time on Survivor. And Michelle, who was only going to appreciate more after Winner's of War, had a great underdog run this season, and people still debate to this day whether or not she should have won Cal Rum. So, yeah, unpredictability, great job councils, great character moments, great camp life sequences, epic blindsides. What more can you ask for? Now, at number 21, the show the season that just barely missed out at top 20. It definitely wasn't easy leaving this out at the top 20, honestly. And that is another Survivor South Africa season, my second favorite South Africa season, that is Survivor South Africa Immunity Islands, Season 8. Honestly, which, again, it's a fantastic, which, again, it's thanks to the cast. Again, it can feel a little bit gay by at times, but again, it does have enough character moments to really spotlight that, honestly. And it may have some uninteresting router points, honestly, but even though I won't call it boring. Yeah, it's about the cast and the crazy job councils that happen is what do make this season so fun, so rewatchable. Much like Jason being a first boot, Pinting being a hilarious second boot. It creates a double jump council, with also Caleb being a great pretty much character. The whole media island aspect I thought was actually pretty well done, at least some great moments. And of course, people like Wardon, Winner, Amy. Sean is also an interesting character to have from Downfall. Esnu, Satori, Kieran, Tyson, Chappies, because one of the biggest challenge beats in the show's history. Neil and Nicole all have the great moments. And again, still a Philippines, Nicole being one of the most WTF winners ever. But yeah, like Tom, it's something that really elevates this season. Actually, while I will call Tom Cole the best Resident Show's history, it really elevates the season, kind of a pretty just wow season. Just and well, yeah, I may have a couple of not the most interesting games last couple rounds in pre-merge, and still not sure how to keep up the whole like Destiny twist thing. I think as a whole, it's a season that is actually very consistent, has some fantastic gameplay moments, some insane moments, some twists that I think don't really like bring down the game honestly. So overall, this season, just kiss.